Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to crochet this beautiful and fun crochet cardigan. This is a super easy pattern to make, which is perfect for beginners. You can crochet along with me, but if you prefer you can also get the PDF pattern on my Etsy shop. So if you're excited to make this top, be sure to like this video and subscribe for even more patterns and tutorials. Before we start, make sure you read the finished measurements carefully so you can pick the best size for your body. For making this cardigan, you will need any chunky yarn. In my case, I'm using this Mega Wool by Rico, which is 55% wool and 45% acrylic. And it's really soft and it has a really nice drape. You can also use any other acrylic yarn if you're allergic to wool or even cotton. You will need two different colors if you want to follow the same pattern, or you can also use one color if you prefer. You will also need a 6mm crochet hook to work on the ribbon and a 7mm crochet hook to work on the main body and the sleeves of your cardigan. You will also need some stitch markers and a pair of scissors. It's important you do a sample gauge before starting if you want to achieve the same measurements I'm given in this pattern. We're going to start working on the front panels of the cardigan, and for that I'm going to create a slip knot, and you're going to work the number of chains according to your size. In my case, I'm going to work 25 chains because I'm making size medium. But if you're making size extra small, for example, you're going to make 21 chains. So I'm going to go ahead and work 25 chains for my size. Now I've completed the number of chains for my size. So I'm going to go to the second chain from the hook, and I'm going to work a half double crochet into that space, and then I'm going to work one half double crochet into each chain available. And to work a half double crochet, you're going to yarn over and insert the hook into the next chain, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over again and pull the yarn through all the 3 loops on the hook. And this is how the row should be looking for you so far. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue working on half double crochets until I get to the end of the row. I'm now working on the last half double crochet of the row. And now this is row number 1 completed. So you're going to work 1 chain and turn your work to start working on row number 2. Now instead of working through both loops of the stitch, you're going to work in the back loop only, which is that loop I'm showing you and is the furthest away from you. And you're going to work a slip stitch into the back loop only. When making the slip stitch here and all the other rows, make sure you work them very loose, because if you work them really tight, your work will shrink and the panels won't come out straight as they should be. You can also change the crochet hook for these rows of slip stitches to a bigger hook in order to help you. And this is how the back of the stitch is going to look like. And by working this way, we're going to create that knit look that it looks really beautiful, and it creates a very light fabric, but at the same time very warm to wear, which is perfect for this cardigan. So I'm going to go ahead and continue working on this row, and I will show you what to do at the end of row number 2. And this is how the stitch is going to look like on the right side of your work. And this is going to be the wrong side of your work. So now I'm going to work on the last slip stitch of the row, and it's important not to miss this last stitch. So I would recommend placing a stitch marker at the beginning and the end of the row. And now you're going to work 1 chain and turn your work. And now this is the right side of your work, and you're going to work on row number 3. And for that, you're going to repeat row number 1, which was 1 half double crochet into each stitch available. So you're going to yarn over and insert your hook through both loops of the slip stitch that we worked before and finish your half double crochet. And this is the way you're going to work each half double crochet along the row. And if you're afraid of losing stitches when you start or finish your row, I recommend placing a stitch marker on the first half double crochet and the last half double crochet of the row, just to make your work easier. And this is how the stitch pattern is looking so far. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue working across row number 3, and I will meet you at the end. I'm now working on the last half double crochet of the row, so make sure you don't miss a stitch. And this is how your work is going to look like with those little bumps, as I was saying before. You're going to work 1 chain and turn your work. And we're going to start working on row number 4. And for this, you're going to work a slip stitch in the back loop only, as we did in row number 2. So now this is a repeat row, and you're going to repeat row number 2 across the row. So as you can see, remember you need to work the slip stitch loose in order to create that beautiful knit look stitch. You're going to continue working on the front panel of your cardigan, repeating rows number 3 and 4 until you have the necessary amount of rows for your size. Now I've worked all the rows that I needed for size medium, which was 52. And this is how the right side of your work is going to look like. And you're going to repeat the same steps in order to create a second front panel. You will then need to make the back panel of the cardigan. And for this, you're going to chain 59 for size medium. And you're going to repeat the same steps you did for the front panel. And you're going to work the exact number of rows as before. So front panel and back panel have the same length. And this is how the back panel is going to look like. Now it's time to make the sleeves. You're going to use your secondary color, in my case, the light pink, and a 6mm crochet hook. And we're going to create a slip knot and work 9 chains in total. And this is going to be the cuffs of the sleeves. I have the 9 chains, and I'm going to work a single crochet on the second chain from the hook, and in each chain across. And at the end of the row, I'm going to have 8 single crochets in total. I completed the first row of the ribbon and I have 8 single crochets, so I'm going to work one chain and turn my work. And now you're going to work on the back loop only of the stitch, and you're going to work a single crochet in the back loop only. So you're going to go through the back loop only and work a single crochet there. And you're going to work a single crochet in each single crochet available until the end of the row. So remember, don't go through both loops, just go through the back loop of the stitch. And in this way, you're going to create that ribbed cuff. And when you get to the last single crochet of the row, go through both loops of the stitch instead of one in order to create a better finish of the ribbon. Then you're going to chain 1 and turn your work. And for row number 3 and the rest of the rows, you're going to repeat row number 2, which means you're going to work one single crochet in the back loop only in each stitch available. So now I have finished the third row, and I'm going to work one chain and turn my work. And now we can see a bit of the ribbon in there. So you're going to continue working the exact way, repeating row number 2 until you have 24 rows in total for size medium. And you can see the rest of the rows on the top of the video. And now I have worked the 24 rows, and this is what your work should look like by now. And in order to count the rows, I like counting them in twos. So if you can see the little pose created by the single crochets in the back loop, count as 2 rows. So here we have 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and so on. So that's the way you're going to count the rows, and I feel like that's the easiest way. So now you have your rows completed. You're going to make sure the band covers your wrist, and make sure it's the exact width of your wrist, as the band is going to stretch because of the ribbon. And once you make sure it's the perfect size for your wrist, you're going to join the band together. And for this, you're going to work a slip stitch through both sides of your band, as you can see here. And this way, you're going to join the two sides together in order to create the cuff of your sleeve. I'm gonna go ahead and continue joining the cuffs, and I will show you what to do next. Once you've joined the two sides together, you're going to turn your band inside out. So this is going to be the right side of your work, and you're going to try it on again in order to make sure it fits. And as you can see here, it looks okay for me. So now you're going to start working on the body of the sleeve. You're going to use your 7mm crochet hook, and you're going to start the round by making one chain. And now you're going to work around the raw edges of the ribbon and evenly distribute 22 half double crochets. So here I'm working the second half double crochet of the round. And now you're going to work one half double crochet, two together. So you're going to work a normal half double crochet and you're not going to close it. You're going to go to the next space and finish the half double crochet. So that is a half double crochet, two together. This way you are decreasing the number of stitches for the sleeve. So you will need to decrease at the beginning and at the end of the round. Now I'm going to go ahead and continue placing half double crochets around the cuff until I have 22 half double crochets in total. I wanted to show you I'm almost at the end of the round, so I'm going to work another decrease. So this is going to be one half double crochet, two together, and then I'm going to finish my way working the rest of half double crochets until I have 22 half double crochets for size medium. So now I have finished working the half double crochets that I needed for size medium. And now you're going to work a slip stitch into the first half double crochet of the round in order to join your work. And this is the first round completed. This is an extra tip that is going to help you to keep track of your rounds and your stitches. So before closing the first round with a slip stitch, you can place a stitch marker on the first half double crochet of the round, as I'm doing it now, and then place the slip stitch. So this way you will know which stitch is the first and which stitch is the last, because it can be a bit confusing when working on the sleeves. So I hardly recommend you doing this. So then you're going to work one chain and you're going to turn your work. And now the last stitch of the previous round is going to be the first stitch of this round. And you're going to work slip stitch in the back loop only across the round. I'm going to go ahead and continue working this way until the end of the round, and I will show you what to do next. And now almost at the end of the round. So I have the stitch marker to tell me that I have one half double crochet left. So I'm going to remove the stitch marker and work the last slip stitch of the round. And now you're going to join the round by working a slip stitch into the first slip stitch of the round. And before you start working on the new round, place a stitch marker on the last stitch of the round. And you're going to work one chain and turn your work. And now this is going to be a round of increases. So this means you're going to work 2 half double crochet in each available stitch. And before continue working on the increases of this round, I will place a stitch marker in the first half double crochet of the round. And now I'm ready to continue. So you're going to place another half double crochet into that first stitch. And here you can see I have the stitch markers. So now you're going to go ahead and continue working 2 half double crochets into each stitch until you get to the end of the round. I'm now working on the last half double crochet of the round. So I have 1 stitch left. I'm going to remove the stitch marker and then I'm ready to place the last 2 half double crochets of the round. And now you're going to remove the stitch marker of the first half double crochet and join the round with a slip stitch. You're going to place a stitch marker on the first half double crochet of the round, of the previous round, work 1 chain and turn your work. So for this round, you're going to repeat round number 2. That means you're going to work a slip stitch in the back loop only until the end of the round. And here I forgot to place the stitch marker on the first stitch of the round. So go ahead and place a stitch marker and then you can continue working on this round. I'm now working on the last stitch of the round. So I'm going to work the last slip stitch. And you're going to remove that stitch marker. And you will join the round by working a slip stitch into that first stitch of the round. And you're going to place your stitch marker in order to keep track of your rounds. And you're going to work 1 chain and turn your work. And this round is going to be half double crochets into each stitch until the end of the round. So you're going to continue working this way across this round. And you're going to repeat rounds number 4 and 5 until you have the necessary number of rows to complete the sleeve. I'm working on the last half double crochet of round number 5. And I'm going to remove the stitch marker. And now I'm ready to place the last half double crochet of this round. And you're going to join the round by working a slip stitch into the first half double crochet of the round. And you're going to continue repeating rounds number 4 and 5 until your sleeve is completed And you can pause here to read how many rounds you need to work for each size. Here I've completed the first sleeve, so you're going to go ahead and work on the second sleeve. And now you're ready to join your cardigan together. You're going to place the front panel on top of the back panel and with the right sides facing each other. You're going to use a yarn needle and the same color you used for the front and the back panel, and you're going to whip stitch along the shoulder seams in order to join the panels together. And you're going to go through both loops of the stitch on each side of the panel in order to join them together. And you're going to continue working this way until the shoulder seams are joined together. After the front panels are joined to the back panel of your cardigan, you are going to join the side seams of your work, and you're going to use the same method we use for the shoulders. And this is how I measure how much yarn I will need to sew the sides together. And I'm going to count 3 times the length of the cardigan, or the parts that I need to sew together, in order to have enough yarn to sew the pieces together. And now you're gonna go ahead and join the sides of the cardigan together, working the exact way we did on the shoulder seams. So first you're going to attach the yarn, and I always like making a little knot in order to make sure the sides or the yarn won't unravel. And you're going to go through both loops of both panels in order to make sure you are joining them together. And you're going to continue working this way until the side of your cardigan is joined together, leaving enough space for the sleeves. So for size medium, this will be approximately 20 centimeters. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue working on sewing the pieces together, and I will meet you at the end. So now I'm almost done, and I wanted to show you that's the space left I have for the sleeves. So now I'm ready to finish sewing the pieces together, and I'm going to go through one of the stitches in order to secure the yarn and make sure it's not going to unravel. And now it's time to attach the sleeves to your cardigan, as you can see here. So you're going to turn the sleeves inside out, as you can see on the video. And the side seam of the sleeve is going to touch the side seam of the cardigan, as you can see here on the video. I hope I make myself clear, but as you can see here, the two sides are touching each other. Now you're ready to join the sleeves to your cardigan, and you're going to use the same method we used before, using your tapestry needle and your yarn. So you're going to go through both loops, and on this case of the cardigan and the sleeves, as you can see here on the video. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue working this way until the sleeves are attached to the body of the cardigan. Now this is how the sleeves are going to look when they are attached to the cardigan, and this is the right side of the work, and you're going to repeat the same for the other sleeve. Now we're going to work on the collar of the cardigan. This is going to be the right side of the cardigan, and you're going to work along the neckline and the edge of the cardigan. And with the 6mm crochet hook and your secondary collar, you're going to attach the yarn to the bottom corner space of the right side panel, and I'm going to make a knot in order to secure the yarn. And for all sizes, you're going to work 8 chains. Once you work the 8 chains, you're going to work a single crochet into the second chain from the hook and in each chain until the end of the row. I'm now working on the last single crochet of the row, and you should have 7 single crochets in total, and you're going to place a slip stitch into the same space where your chain begins and a slip stitch into the next available space. You're going to turn your work, and you're going to miss the 2 slip stitches you worked in the previous row. There you can see the 2 slip stitches, and you're going to work a single crochet in the back loop in each stitch until the end. I'm now working on the last single crochet of the row, and I'm going to go through both loops instead of one, and I'm going to chain 1 and turn my work. Now you're going to repeat row number 1, so you are going to work a single crochet in the back loop in each stitch until the end of the row. And after you finish working on the single crochet, you're going to work a slip stitch into the next two available spaces of your cardigan. And this is the way you're going to continue working. So you're going to turn your work and miss the two slip stitches you worked before and continue working on the ribbon. So this is going to be a single crochet in the back loop. And you're going to repeat rows number 2 and 3 until the entire neckline edge is covered. I'm gonna go ahead and continue working on the neckline, and I will show you how it looks at the end. So this is how the neckline is going to look like on your cardigan. And now you will need to make the bottom ribbon. And for this, you're going to pause this slide and follow the same steps you did for the neckline. Now we're going to work on the pockets. And as with the sleeves, you will first work the ribbon. And then once the ribbon is completed, you will work the main body of the pockets and sew them to each front of the cardigan. Go ahead and create the slip knot, and you're going to work 7 chains. And you're going to work a single crochet into the second chain from the hook and in each chain until the end of the row. And once the row is completed, you're going to work 1 chain and turn your work, and you're going to do a single crochet in the back loop in each stitch available. And this is how you're going to work the ribbon of the pockets. And you're going to repeat these steps until you have 15 rows in total. So I'm going to go ahead and continue working on the ribbon, and I will show you what to do next. I now finished working on the ribbon of the pockets. So I'm going to change to the 7mm crochet hook, and I'm also gonna change the color of the yarn. So I'm going to use the color of the body of the cardigan, and you're going to attach the yarn, and you're going to work on the edge of the ribbon, and you're going to evenly distribute 13 half double crochets in total. I'm gonna go ahead and continue working on this row, and I will meet you at the end. I now finished row number 1, and I have worked 13 stitches in total. And to start row number 2, you're going to work 1 chain and turn your work. And this is going to be a row of slip stitches. So you're going to work a slip stitch in the back loop only until the end of the row. And now at the end of the row, so I'm going to work 1 chain and turn my work. And we're going to work 1 half double crochet across the row. And you're going to repeat rows number 2 to 3 until you have 9 rows in total. And this is how your pocket is going to look like when you complete the 9 rows. And here I'm counting each row, so I have 9 rows in total. And you're going to repeat the same for the other pocket. And then we're going to be ready to sew them into the cardigan. Now with the right side facing you, you're going to place the pockets on the front panel of the cardigan. And you can place them whatever way you like them. And this is how I like placing them. I like them very low, but if you like them a bit higher, just change the position of the pockets on your own cardigan. Once you've decided where you want your pockets to be, you're ready to sew them together. So you're going to use the same method we used before, and they're going to be a few stitches away from the ribbon. And I'm going to go ahead and stitch them together. So I'm going to go through both loops of the cardigan and the pockets in order to join them together. And you're going to sew each side of the pocket, leaving the top open so you can insert your hand. And in order to sew the ribbon of the pocket, you can use the yarn ends in the same color in order to join the pockets to your cardigan. So I'm going to go ahead and continue sewing the pockets to the cardigan, and I will meet you at the end. After sewing the pockets to your cardigan, your work is complete, and now you've made a beautiful crochet cardigan. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!